Hey guys, welcome to the Lou webinar for Lou Service. I'm Shannon Stein. I'm the Client Enablement Specialist, and I'm joined today by my colleague Trisha Hamasaki, who's also on the enablement team. We are going to talk about Lou Service, our new mobile app for service techs, and then show a demo. We will have a Q&A at the end, so you can put those questions in the chat box on the screen there. So without further ado, let's talk about Lou Service. So I know, Trisha, you've been doing a lot of the work with Lou Service, doing demos and recording all kinds of fun stuff. What are some of the things that stand out to you that are exciting about the app?
Well, for me, I feel like the Lou Service app is really going to be the on-site tech's personal assistant, helping them throughout the day, being a kind of an intuitive app for them to use. It's also really great for people who are not tech savvy. You can basically jump into the app. It's very easy to just navigate throughout, not having to worry about how to do anything. It's very intuitive. And you can use it on your personal cell phone if you really don't want to carry around a tablet, or you can carry around a tablet if you would like to just be able to scale the size of your invoices and everything.
Yeah, I really like the fact that you don't have to have a ton of training to
hmm
be able to use the app. You really can open it up and immediately start to see your work all in one place. Whereas Lou Web has everything you could need to be able to run retail and service, manage your accounting, all that fun stuff we talk about all the time. The Lou Service app really is curated for your service techs, and it really is putting everything that they need right there at their fingertips and making sure that they're able to get to those service calls throughout the day in a very efficient fashion.
Yeah, they
And I
can
think
access their orders, they can access their inventory. It's basically all at
absolutely,
their fingertips. So,
yeah. And they can do a lot of things with it that they might need to do that come up in the field. So,
mhm.
where if I'm a service manager and I'm sitting at my desk and I have put together the orders, I've added the scheduled tasks, I've added the SKUs that I think the tech's going to need. But then you're the tech and you're out there in the field, and as you're cleaning pools or spas or working on fireplaces and stoves, you discover that there's a part that you need to replace, and it's something that you carry with you on your truck. You have the ability to just add that SKU right there in the field and be able to make that repair without having to make a second visit. So that ends up saving your customers time and it saves you time. It's all pretty great, and it makes everything really easy for the service techs.
Definitely work smarter, not harder if we can, for
For sure.
sure. Yeah.
Um, uh, what do you think about the ability to add photos? Because I know that photos are a big deal for a lot of our customers.
Photos and video are one of the biggest things, especially that our techs need to be able to add to a task or, anything that they're doing so that they can both show the clients and also the company what's going on. It's a great way to keep track of what has been installed as well, for future reference. And so just being able to add photos directly from your phone. Now, I know sometimes we might get a little yeah, into the job and forgetting to add it immediately. So you can either take the photos and add them towards the end of your job, or you can add them as you're going, whichever really works for you the best. But being able to add both video and photo directly is kind of a big deal, I think, for
Yeah,
it.
I think it's really great. And it makes it super easy for, again, both sides, for the
Yeah.
techs and for the dispatchers and office personnel too. And then all that information is attached both to the order for the customer and to the customer's profile so that all that information is easily accessible over time, which is really
Yeah,
awesome
it
too.
it automatically syncs. The data automatically syncs to Lou Web. So it's both on the phone in the task, but it's also in Lou Web, which is
So
amazing.
easy.
Yeah.
So I know that with previous apps, we've definitely had some different limitations. This app,
Mhm.
we've made some fantastic improvements, both technology wise and just in features. I think for a brand new app coming out, it's pretty feature rich. And you actually did a day in a life, which we'll see in a little bit. Was there anything that stood out as far as like a stumbling block, maybe, or was it just kind of smooth sailing getting through your day?
For me, I think it was pretty smooth sailing from the immediate, like sending a client, like being able to send the client a message without having to go and text the client, make sure you're texting the right number, all that stuff like that. Texting the client that I'm on my way. And it also uses Google Maps. So it tells me how far away I am. And so the client will know how far away I am. It updates according to, it basically pulls the time according to traffic, which is fantastic. So I'm not
Yeah,
just
I
giving
love
them a
that.
kind of a guesstimation or two or three block hour of time. It also helps me send messages if I get there. Like if the client's not there, but they're okay with us, our text being there, we can send a message that says when we get there, when we're finished with the job. We can also add notes to, like the door hanger at the end that shows what we did. They can see any notes that we have directed to them if there's any questions or any concerns. And we can also send it back to Lou Web to our dispatcher to let them know what's going on. And also in case I'm not the same person next time, you can let the next tech know what's going on just in case they have any questions. So
Yeah, I
I
think
really,
it's
really love I think your clients will love it, but I really like that the techs basically have a direct line to the client without having to really worry or fumble over anything.
totally. I think it's awesome. And, as you get to a job and you check in, there's always so many things you have to remember. So being able to have an app right there that has a workflow available to you so that you're remembering if you've got to do the water testing, entering in those values, making sure that you're filling out any checklists that you need to and getting those handled appropriately. All that stuff is right there at their fingertips. And like we said at the start, it's all so easy that you really don't need a ton of training to be able to be up and running, which is really great because let's be honest, service techs are not sitting on a bunch of software apps all the time. They're out there in the field working with their hands and doing hard work. So
Yeah,
being able to have an app that they can pause and quickly be able to do sort of that like prove your work kind of thing with the admin of getting through all your tasks, seeing what you need, having your SKUs right there. It's really easy when you don't have to think about it that much.
exactly. Having like a work list of a checklist of exactly what they need to do without really having to remember what kind of task this is and then what do you need to do and then all that stuff like that. Like a lot of them are going to have that intuition just in general, but
Uh-huh.
having that backup on the app is going to help them so much more.
I
I think
totally
it helps
agree.
the company.
It
So
really makes it easy. So let's stop talking about it for a little
yeah,
bit and let's show everybody what loose service looks like. So we've got a demo together for you guys, and we'll play it for you now.
yeah. You'll find ourselves on our sign-in page for Malark Pool and Spa. We'll be using my user profile. I'll enter my PIN, and it will take us to our home dashboard. On the home dashboard, the upper part, you'll see a greeting for your tech, as well as a progress bar of completed, in progress, and pending tasks. This will be defaulted to the current date, but if you wanted to change it, you can click the little calendar button, change it to tomorrow, yesterday, or any range of days that you might want to see. Right below the progress bar, you'll see the tasks section, where you can scroll the carousel left to right to go through all your tasks. Or you can view all, which will take you to the route menu, where you can see all of the tasks you have for the day. Below that, you'll see any vehicles and assets that are also assigned to the tech that they may need throughout the day. There are a couple ways to navigate to your first stop. You can hit Next Stop, which will bring you to a map and show you the optimized route that has been created according to which clients need to be taken care of first. This route is optimized and set in Lou Web. You can go to the routing page and you can navigate from here. This will be the order of your routes, or you can navigate directly from the task carousel. I'm going to hit navigate, and as you can see, it says using Google Maps, it will take 8 minutes to get to my first stop and I can send an on my way message. All right, here we go. Once you have arrived at the location, you've sent off your door hanger that says I've arrived. You can go into the task profile and click check in. Checking in changes your status to in progress and also starts a timer to show how long the tech has been at the location. In the task profile, there is the name of the task. This is a repair evaluation for a spa. It should take about 30 minutes estimated time to finish it. And it also has the client's information in case we need to get in touch with them. If we have a phone number for the client, you will be able to use the icon to send a quick message to the client or call the client if need be. Under details, you'll have some notes that may have been left on the client profile, as well as a site profile. This one particular is for a deck spa, telling me how many cubic feet the deck spa is, but also a gate code, water volume, map grid, shed door number, and if we have any dogs. I can check equipment to see if there's any equipment that has been used at this location previously. It lists me as the primary technician. I am using the water care van for this. There's also some document customer notes. Once we have checked in, you'll be able to go to the workflow. There is a water test area, checklist area, add photos, and notes. For this one, we're not going to evaluate the spa for water testing, but if we did have to, you'll be able to click in there. You'll be able to see any history for a couple of different date ranges from previous testing, and then you'll be able to go in and manually enter your readings. If a reading is outside of a range, you'll see it goes red, and if it is in a good range, it'll be green. If you accidentally click on any of these but do not actually want to have a reading taken, you can press the white X and the reading goes away. You are also able to put in any dosages of any chemicals that were given during the time of the evaluation. Once you leave this water testing, you'll see the first box as a little checkbox, and when you go back in, you'll see that reading that I made. If you need to make an additional one, you can also do that as well. If this particular type of task has a checklist, you'll be able to go into the checklist. This one has a service survey, and they'd like you to answer a couple of questions. Since this was already filled out last time, I'm not going to add anything to it. It's the same as last time. You can also go to add photos, where you can take photos, or you can go into your photos and add pictures, and that photo will be added in there. You'll also be able to edit details, annotate the image, download the image, or delete the image. You'll also have a section to add notes to the customer. You can also use the talk button to speech to text input your notes instead of having to type it, or you can just old-fashioned type it in. Customer notes. This is notes to the customers that will be displayed on their door hanger, which you can send at the end. Next visit notes, which will be shown to the technician the next time they come over. You can also share this on the door hanger, but you do not have to. And then messages to the dispatcher. Once all notes are added, you can go back to the overview. If there's anything else that's needed, say you need to add a SKU. Looks like we have the labor cost right now. Site evaluation charge is non-refundable. Tech will determine parts and add to the order for review prior to invoicing. Well, we reviewed the spa. We do need something. So I'm going to go to the view order and add a SKU. So I'm going to add a cartridge right here. And you'll see that it has added to the SKU's number as well as updated the invoice total. Now, obviously, this is something that we will need to talk to the client about before invoicing and before doing any work. You can also add a comment. Need to get client approval. And a comment will be added right there. Any details on here, you'll see notes about technician, requests that were sent in from the client, any information that was displayed to the client, as well as work order outcomes. We did have a work order previously with this client. After all is said and done, let's see, don't have any checklists I need. Don't have any interview questions. I can message the client a quick message. I can either send them a quick message from here. Most likely, I'll give a call to the client, talk to them about the invoice, unless they have preferred that we come back on a different date. If that has already been discussed, then I'll go to checkout. I'll say this is a multi-visit task because I will need to come back later on after my evaluation, and I will check out. Once I checked out, you'll get a little message that says work item successfully completed and synced, and I'll send a door hanger to the client. Now this is a complete task, as you can see next to the repair evaluation spa. And in my progress wheel, I have one completed task. Now that I've done that, I'll go ahead, head over to my next. I can just hit next up and navigate. Once we've arrived at the location, you'll hit Task Profile and click Check In. Again, once you've clicked Check In, the pending will change to in progress and a timer will start counting down. For this particular client, we're doing a spa cleaning with a 1 hour estimate. Below the details, you'll see that it is for the Site Profile Abernathy Spa, which is an 82 cubic foot spa. No equipment, special equipment is needed for this. I will be the primary technician and I am driving the Chevy today. If you click SKUs, you'll see there are 2 line items for general labor SKU, one for test strips, one for granules, and one for water test dosage calcium chloride bags. Back to details. You'll be able to go to the workflow, click water test. This is again for Site Profile Abernathy Spa. You can look at what the history has been for them, and you can go ahead and record what today's readings are. Once you leave this area, you'll see that the water test check has lit up and the test has been recorded. You can either start a new one or go in there and edit the one that you've already had. There are also checklists. For this particular one, we have a spa valet checklist, which means we want to know that the tech has drained and cleaned the spa, done a deep flush, done a thorough sanitizing, deep cleaned the water line, deep cleaned the filters, and confirmed that all components are functioning. You can also add a note if you want to. You can also add photos. You'll be able to go to add photo, your camera will open up, or you can go to saved photos. Use any photos that you want right there. This is an after photo. I'm going to call this after testing. You can go to notes. From here, you can add customer notes, which are notes to the customer that will be displayed on the door hanger. Notes for the next visit for the next technician, which can also be shared on the door hanger or not. And then notes to the dispatcher. Once you have completed everything on the workflow page, you are able to use the 3-dot hamburger at the top right to view your order if you need to add any additional SKUs to the invoice. Or to check any details about the work order or other upcoming appointments. Once you have completed the full work order task, you can click Checkout, and you can use, again, Complete, Multi-Visit Task, Non-Call, Incomplete. For this one, I completed everything, so I'm going to leave it as complete and click Checkout. Work item synced successfully, which means it has synced back to Lou Web, and you'll be able to send a door hanger to the client with all the information that was added. if by chance you realize that you have not completed everything and need to check back into the task to add a little bit more time, you are able to do a new check-in as well as a checkout. Please remember that without being checked in, you will not be able to touch anything in workflow, but with the new check-in, you will be able to go back and change any water testing checklists, photos, or notes.
That was fantastic. So we're going to open it up to a Q&A now, I think. I see that there's a lot of questions coming in. So I think we have Nick moderating for us.
Hey guys, can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
All good.
Awesome. Yeah, we got a good amount of questions to get through here. So we'll start at the top. Galen wants to know, will there be a function within the app to invoice as well as the ability to process payment?
At some point in the future, there will be. As the app stands right now, we don't have the ability to invoice an order or take a payment in the field integrated through the app. But if you're interested in being able to take payments in the field, we do have some solutions available, and you can reach out to support for more information on that. We do have future plans to develop the ability to invoice and take payments fully integrated, so those will be coming.
Awesome. Another question we have is, will we be able to see existing photos of customer profiles in the new app?
Yeah, definitely. I know when I tested it out, I had a couple of images that I put into the actual profile and that I also added through the phone. And once everything was synced up, I could see both what was in the customer profile from the web on my phone, as well as the images that I uploaded from my phone in the web.
Will there be keyword search for entering SKUs, pressure gauges in the app to populate everything with those keywords in it?
Yeah, I think we have the ability to do that currently. And I know that both in web and in the mobile app, we're always improving the ability to search and the fields that are searchable. So yes, currently you can do keyword searches and those will always be improved.
Yeah.
Awesome. Another question is, can the techs edit the service order by adding more parts or edit the time spent on the job? His follow-up is, the reason I'm asking this is a lot of times that job our tech spend on site turns out more than what was initially anticipated.
Yeah, the clock, once they check in, the in-progress clock will just keep going until they're complete. So that will give you a more accurate amount of time that the tech is actually on site. And then like Shanna had said before and on the video, if you need to add a SKU, like you get there and you find out you need an additional part, you happen to have it in your truck, you can actually go into the work order and add the SKU to the work order.
Awesome. And can we use Apple Maps as well, or just Google?
For now, it's just Google, but we are building in the ability to use your preferred navigation.
Do techs need to have the retail bundle for this? Is it giving us an error to start, such as when trying to set up our techs?
No, you do not need the retail bundle to use Lou's service. I know that some users have had an issue with that. That is something that our engineering team has addressed. But what will happen is, for now, you will be using the service bundle, and then very shortly here we'll have some announcements for a mobile-only license that your technicians can use to access the Lou Service app.
And then, do the parameters that the water testing is reading, does Evisys set those, or do we as a company set those?
You define those. So in Lou Web, there is a water testing configuration, and you will define what's being tested, what the minimums and maximums are, what proper dosaging is, all that kind of good stuff.
And what phone number does the app use for the customer, contact customer?
It's always the primary number.
The primary, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Matt wants to know, will a decimal point be added to the manual SKU entry for iPhone users, or is there a keyboard setting on the iPhone that can be altered, or that needs to be altered, rather?
You should be able to use the regular keyboard that's on your iPhone. You'll just have to hit the numbers button from the keyboard to be able to bring up all symbols, and the decimal will be there.
And how will syncing be handled in the areas with poor cell service?
So syncing happens automatically, and then you also have the ability to manually sync. In the event that you're offline or that you have poor service, it'll keep you going, saving all the data, and then as soon as you're in service again, it'll attempt to sync. And to make sure that you get that syncing, my recommendation would be that if you know you're in a poor service area, once you get into a good one, go ahead and do a manual sync just to be safe.
Yeah.
Awesome. Allison wants to know, do you have to check back into the work order to add photos if you don't have a signal, or can you do it a different way?
You should be able to add the photos even though you're offline with no signal. It's still adding it to the app. It's the syncing part that you'll just have to, like Shannon said, it's best to do a manual sync once you get into an area where you have good service. It will try and do a sync once you do have signal, but it's always good just to do a backup one.
Jacob wants to know, will the check-in and check-out have the ability to have geotags so offices can see where they're checked in and out on Google Maps?
Not at this time. I'm not sure if that is a future feature, but I will check back and make sure that we have that information available.
And then if technicians are in a place with limited service, does this act independently without cell service and then update when they're back in range? Many customers live in rural areas and have limitations to service.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely something we know that a lot of you guys deal with and a lot of your technicians deal with. So yeah, like we said, it's supposed to automatically sync once you get back into signal. But again, we always say just to back it up by doing a manual one.
And then if they would like to learn more about how to get payment on the site, whom should they contact?
I would reach out first. If you're a current client of ours, I would reach out to support@evasys.com. If you are a prospect looking to be a client of ours, I would reach out to lou@evasys.com and someone can get you that information.
Awesome. Does the app route the jobs by the shortest route, or does it just produce a route based on the order that the jobs are scheduled?
Kind of both.
Kind of both.
So it defaults to whatever order the tasks are in, but if someone goes in Lou Web and uses the optimize route feature, then that actually takes the routes and will optimize the tasks into an order that makes sense, starting with your starting location and working around based on GPS.
Awesome. And Jake wants to know, if the service manager adds a job midday to a tech, will that update the specific tech in the field on their app?
Yes, it should.
Yeah, as soon as they sync again, if a new job was added or something like that, when they the next time that the system syncs, they should have that job in their list. However, I will caution you, we don't yet have an alert that tells the tech that something's been added or changed, so that communication would need to happen outside of the app for now.
Awesome. Will there be the ability to set security parameters regarding what techs can and can't change via app?
Yes, we are working on group security right now. We know that's a really important thing. That is one of our next priorities to get into the app. So to start, it'll mostly match the same security parameters that currently exist in Lou Web. And then as we continue to develop, we'll be able to add in additional security parameters that are a bit more specific to Lou service. But yes, we understand that's a big deal and we're working on it.
And does the app automatically sync so that techs will no longer have to remember to sync the app periodically?
Yep.
Yes.
It syncs data and photos. We do still have that manual option available because sometimes things happen and you need to be able to manually sync that data. But ideally, we have everything on a platform now that will sync automatically, and you're just going about your day.
Awesome. And Mallory is curious about pricing around the new Lou Service app.
Currently, the Lose Service app itself is free. There is no additional cost to download. It would just be the licensing for the users. So right now we're doing service licensing, but then coming up really quickly here, we'll be introducing a mobile only license that will be a little cheaper than the standard service license, since all you're accessing is that mobile app. So we'll have more information on that coming soon.
And Alexis wants to know, is it the text phone number that the customer sees when they're messaging or calling them?
No, they'll see a no reply phone number that is part of our texting service.
And they also want to know, do you have to sync photos separately with the new app, or does the syncing work for everything?
Everything.
Awesome. All right, a couple more here. We service 2 time zones. If we don't sync in the different time zone, it causes issues. Is that a fix now, or is it automatically syncing?
It should still be automatically syncing. So everything is functioning in the background. And even if you pop in and out of cell service, once you're back into service, it should resume syncing. And if you're ever concerned or worried, there's always that manual sync to take care of it.
Awesome. And do we need to deactivate Lou's schedule to activate Lou's service, or do we need to have both / are we charged for both?
You don't need to have both. We are going to be sunsetting Lou's schedule in the future as we get more people rolled up onto Lou's service. There's no harm in having both, but there's no reason to have both. Once you move over to Lou's service, you can uninstall Lou's schedule and you'll be off to the races.
And if a technician wants to do a follow-up visit, but it has not been placed on my day yet, are they able to access all work orders, or does it have to be placed on that day?
You do have the ability to access work orders even if you don't have a task associated with it. My general best practice recommendation would be that you should have a task on the work order assigned to that technician before they show up, just so that they're able to access the workflow and all of the other items that they need to complete. But you do have the visibility on the orders if something were to happen as you were out in the field.
And Mark wants to know, when a tech sends a message to a customer through the app, can the customer text the text back and the tech will see it instantaneously?
No, we don't currently have two-way messaging. It is a no reply text message that gets sent.
And Logan wants to know, how long will the old app be functional?
Right now, we have plans to make sure that it's functional until we get everyone up and running on Lou's service. I don't have an exact sunset date yet, but it will be sometime this year.
Awesome. Just a couple more. And will contacts be visible for text in the new app? Right now, we have to duplicate all contacts in the site profile.
The primary contact that is listed on the customer profile is visible. Anything that's listed in the additional contacts is not currently visible to the technician, so it would still have to be in the site profile if they need to see that information. But we are continuing to develop, and that information will be visible in the future.
Great. And Lisa wants to know, is there any preferences we need to change for the web version of the new app?
There shouldn't be any preferences that you need to change. It's the Lou Service mobile app is a companion to Lou Web, so it just gives your techs the ability to log in and perform work without having to go to Lou Web. There are some things that are configured in Lou Web that then are visible in the app, but there shouldn't be anything that needs to change in order to use the app.
Awesome. I think we're all good.
Well, those were great questions. We are continuing to roll out Lou Service. It is still technically in beta right now, but we have, last I heard, about 35 clients up and running on it and more to come. Again, if you're interested and you are a current client of ours, you can reach out to support@evisys.com and we can help you get started. If you're a prospect looking to become a client and want a demo and more information, you can definitely reach out to us at lou@evisys.com. And if you are a current client and you're interested in some more one-on-one training, again, that's support@evisys.com, and you'll get to talk to Trisha and I. So I think that about wraps it up, Trisha, unless you have anything else you want to say.
No, I think that wraps it up. I'm definitely looking forward to speaking to you all. If you do decide to do an individual demo, happy to help answer all your questions. And yeah, I'm really excited about the service app myself. So
Me too.
I want everybody to learn about it.
All right, guys. Well, that'll conclude it for today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.